Speaker number 7. Unveiling Unsung Heroes, remarkable stories of RCAF personnel.
Orateur numéro 7, révéler les héros méconnus, histoire remarquable de membres du personnel de l'ARC.
Faster, faster, faster! The plane travels down the runway, picking up speed with every second. Your hands are clenched. A bead of sweat drips down into your eyes. You wipe it away quickly. You cannot miss the takeoff. You hold your breath as the plane inches away from the ground. And the next blink, it's airborne, on its way to soaring among the clouds, leaving you behind, still on solid ground, hands clenched around the fence, still sweating from the bike ride here. You are not flying the plane, merely watching from the outside looking in. You are not the pilot, and despite your wild, impossible dreams, you fear you will never be. Good morning, everyone. I am Sgt Wood from 574 Dakota Squadron, and I'm here today to talk to you about a notable individual within the Royal Canadian Air Force who has made a huge impact on Canada's history and an even bigger impact on inspiring future generations. The individual in question is Major Deanna D. Brassier. Like me, you probably have never even heard of her incredible story, so let's begin at the very start. Born on September 9, 1953, in Pembroke, Ontario, she was familiar with the Royal Canadian Air Force from a very early age because of her father, Lionel, who was a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. When Brassier was only 12, she would bike down to the nearby RCAF Station Airport and peer through the fence, all to watch the soon-to-be pilots learn to fly. A seed was planted in her. She wanted to be a pilot. She wanted to be one of them. But this seemed to be a hopeless dream. After all, she was a girl, and this is the 1960s. So Brassier decided to do the next best thing and joined the military in 1972, working as an administrative clerk in a dental clinic. But after months of listening to the roaring of drills, Brassier realized she was not being all that she could be and applied for a commission. This led to her being posted in the North Bay as an air weapons controller. Not only did she enjoy this far more, but it also put her into contact with many pilots. After a couple of flights, her dream was rekindled, and she resolved to at the very least get her private pilot's license in 1978. But then next year, something happened she could have never expected. The military started a trial program called SWINTER, Service Women in Non-Traditional Environments and Roles. Brassier was one of 4 women selected for the aircrew trial. I can't even imagine the joy she must have felt at hearing this news, knowing that her dreams had a chance of coming true. It wasn't easy. To start off with, there was a tremendous amount of pressure. If they failed, it could and likely would be argued that women were not fit to be pilots. Not only that, but Brassier and the other women had to fight against misogyny, unwanted advances, and more. And the attitudes of many, though of course not all, was horrible. But despite all of this, Brassier never gave up. After all, this was her dream. As she said it herself, flying presented the ultimate physical and mental challenge. Definitely the job for me. Eventually, Brassier and 2 others of the original 4 graduated with flying colors. Brassier went on to become the first and only female instructor of the time. Evidently, though, this wasn't enough, as she has said that it wasn't until an emergency landing after a complete engine shutdown at night did she feel completely accepted by her colleagues. Even still, she'd then hear people say things like, well, women can't fly fighters. She would say, what do you mean they can't fly fighters? We don't know what we can or can't do. We haven't had the opportunity. Give me the opportunity. Brassier had found her next dream, becoming a fighter pilot. A couple years later, in 1988, age 35, Brassier was finally one of 2 women allowed to begin fighter training. Once again, Brassier excelled. She, along with Jane Foster, became Canada's very first female fighter pilots. She was then posted to 416 Squadron, where she became one of the first women in the entire world to fly her dream plane, the CF-18 Hornet. And then, in 1994, after 21 years, over 2,500 hours of flying, Brassier retired. I hope you can see why her lesser-known story is so important to tell. It is so incredibly hard being the first to go against what everyone says, what society says. Today, I focused on the positives and all the things she was able to achieve. But her journey certainly wasn't easy, and she had to fight every step of the way. Her story is an inspiration, not just to me, a girl who loves to fly, but to anyone who has ever dreamed. To end, I want to leave you with this. Imagine returning to that same airport 32 years later, no longer on the outside looking in. A tear wells in your eye as a CF-18 Hornet comes to land, and you look from it to the spot at that fence you used to stand. You've done it. Despite everything, you have achieved your dream. And if Deanna Bressier can do it, you can too. So know that no matter what anyone says, no matter who you are, you too can achieve your dream. So never stop trying, never stop fighting, never stop dreaming. Thank you, Dee, for your dreams and dedication that has inspired me to dream big today.
Thank you, speaker number 7.
Okay,
Speaker number 8, please get ready.
So I have no idea.
Merci, orateur numéro 7. Orateur numéro 8, s'il vous plaît, préparez-vous.